Hello, hello. I had to brush something off my shirt. Hello, welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. I have two American bourbon whiskeys, both bottled in Kentucky. This is 10 High, 10 High, America's Native Spirit Sour Mash. 10 High, America's Native Spirit. This is the Eagle. I call it the Eagle label. I think other people call it that too. Bourbon whiskey with natural flavors. Well, what do you know? This is a handle bottle. There's a little bit left. These are about $16.99. These handles at Walmart, Albertsons. If I go to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, or Hammond, Louisiana, Walmart has these. I mean, Albertsons has them. Well, Walmart too, but Walmart around here, Mathern's, uh, Winn Dixie, I believe, sells it. Although they're kind of expensive, so they probably got it for $19.99. But most people got it for $16.99 for this big bottle. No age statement, so we know it. We know it's at least 4 years old. We know it's not straight bourbon because straight bourbon cannot have natural flavors. What are the flavors? Actually, you're not even allowed to have flavoring added to bourbon. If you read the regulations, it says can contain flavoring. X, no. But there it is. But you see, they're disclosing it. I think what they interpreted from the U.S. government is that you can't just add flavoring and not talk about it. You want to add flavoring, you got to talk about it. And they probably would say, this is not a bourbon. We didn't say it was a bourbon. We said it was a bourbon whiskey with natural flavors, a distilled spirit specialty. And next time I see one day I'll run across a carton of this, the 12, there'll be six in these, a 6-pack of these. They'll be in a 6-pack carton. The regular bottles will be in a 12-pack. The shipping carton, it's going to say, I bet you it's going to say DSS, Distilled Spirit Specialty. It's not going to say bourbon whiskey, but I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. All right. But whatever the case, we're going by what it actually says. Bourbon whiskey with natural flavors, whatever little technical, legalistic details you want to go over, fine. But it's always in the bourbon section. And so it literally is bourbon whiskey with natural flavors. All right. And it is at least 4 years old because it's got no age statement. And it is bottled in Kentucky by Barton Distilling Company. And then it says on the side, we love to hear from our customers, Sazerac.com. Here is Evan Williams 1783 small batch. This is the American Hero edition. Not a barrel pick, but it was a warehouse picks, 2 different warehouses at Bernheim Distillery and 6 American veterans, current and retired veterans, picked it. 90 proof, age 6 to 8 years. Doesn't say it on the label. I put that in the notes. Not per the label. Technically and legally, it has no age statement. But the website says, Heaven Hill website, not the Evan Williams website, the brand website, but that corporate website, Heaven Hill, says, I should say the company website. I don't think it's a corporation. It's a proprietorship. It's family owned. They say that it's age 6 to 8 years. So that's a news release. It's not a legal age statement because Jack Daniel's distillery told me that if you put an age statement on the bottle, you got to pay an extra tax. And they say the way they avoid paying the tax is they don't put an age statement. They just informally tell you it's age 4 years. And Evan Williams just informally tells you this is age 6 to 8 years. And it's just like Jim Beam. They informally tell you that it's aged 4 long years. Because if you look at the bottle of Evan Williams, Jim Beam, if you look at a bottle of Jim Beam, you'll never find an age statement. But they're promotional materials like their television commercials, for instance, and the radio, because they do a lot of radio ads for Jim Beam on like baseball games, football games, and they'll say age 4 long years, twice the amount required by law, which is actually true. I don't know if 4 years is what you would call long, but that's what they call it, in marketing. But anyway, here we go. Pour too much. Oh man, you gotta watch those built-in pourers because it'll come out just like no glug, glug, glug. These things here, you pour it straight, it'll never chug a lug. There'll be no air pressure pushing back. It'll just flow out. Like an even flow. All right. Nice looking bottle. I saw some today. I wasn't buying bourbon though. I was just actually doing something else over there. All right. No coloring added. I know it has no coloring added because it doesn't say coloring added. It just says with natural flavors. If it had caramel color, they would have to put that on the bottle. But not if it was a blended bourbon. If it said bourbon whiskey, a blend, but it doesn't have that anymore. They changed the recipe. It's no longer a blended bourbon whiskey or bourbon whiskey, a blend. It's just bourbon whiskey, sour mash bourbon whiskey with natural flavors. What is the purpose of adding the natural flavoring? My guess, it might mask some little yuckiness, which would probably be associated with a $16.99 bottle of bourbon, or a $9.99 standard size bottle, glass. So you can get glass or this plastic. I'm not into the conspiracy theory that this is going to make you have cancer if you drink it from the plastic bottle and all of this stuff. Some people are fine. You say, but it tastes so different out of the plastic bottle. No, it doesn't. It tastes the same. And people will say that about the beer. The beer tastes so much better out of glass. No, it doesn't. It tastes the same. I'm telling you, blind taste test. You're such an expert, right? Get a plastic bottle of Steel Reserve 211 and get a glass bottle of Steel Reserve 211 and blind taste test it, and you ain't going to be able to tell it apart. And there is no way you're going to be able to tell it apart. And you will never tell it apart. You know why? It's the same exact product. It's not better or worse. And if you think it is, you are dreaming. Like Blondie, the band Blondie, you're dreaming. Look at the lizard. The lizard is brown. And it's a male. Because he's doing his battle array where he pops his head up and down and the red skin flap comes out. He's ready to fight. He must see another male. Now those lizards, if they're like by that brown fence, they'll turn brown. But if they go on grass, they'll turn green, bright green, just same color as grass. And they're a type of iguana. Yes, we have iguanas in Louisiana, but they're small. It's called an anole or anole, A-N-O-L-E, anole. And they change colors. All right, brown or green. And their tail falls off. So if you try to grab them, the tail will come off. And they can run away and you're holding a tail. But it'll grow back. Like if your arm gets cut off, it'll grow back. Just a brand new arm. No, I don't think that. No, we're not like lizards. It's a shame that we're not, because that'd be convenient, wouldn't it? It'd just be like all like brown and gray, and then it would come back. Oh, I got a new one. But unfortunately, we're not like, I think, don't they do that with octopuses, octopi? So they're nice to watch. And and they love to fight each other. They're so angry, but they got no teeth. I mean, they might have microscopic teeth, but if they bite you, they're on your hand like, and it just feels like that because there's nothing to bite with. They love to eat flies and termites, stuff like that. This smells like vanilla oak, but not charred oak. Yeah, a lot of vanilla, a little bit of caramel. It must be the flavored one. This smells about the same, but just less of an aroma. Now, wait, maybe this is the 10 high because 10 high is not 90 proof. It's only 80 proof. Oh, price point. Oh, yeah. Okay, so a regular bottle of Evan Williams 1783 small batch will be $18.99. You might have to pay 20, but I wouldn't pay more than 20. I'm telling you, I wouldn't do it because you can shop around. You can find it for less than 20. 10 high, you can find a huge bottle, this big handle, which is 1,000 milliliters bigger than that for $16.99. Now the question is it really good to save that money and drink it instead of Evan Williams small batch 1783? Now 90 proof, age 6 to 8 years. You know, at one time it was 90 proof and it was age 10 years. True story. I've seen the bottles on the internet. What they call that, the World Wide Web. So the aroma of each is fine. And don't be fooled. Heaven Hill makes these bourbons with natural flavors too. I got one in the cabinet, and you will never see an advertisement for it, and you will never hear a radio ad for it. And you'll never see an internet ad for Royal Bourbon with natural flavors and caramel color. You're just not going to see that promotion. But I did buy a bottle for $7.99. Is it any good? Well, it's not bad. It's a lot better than you would think. Like when you see the bottle, you're just thinking like, and they got big ones too. But you say, this is an atrocity. And then you taste it and it's like, well, it does taste kind of good, so, and then you're trying to convince yourself it doesn't taste good. You say, I don't want to get kicked out the bourbon fans club. None of the bourbon people will be my friend if I say it tastes kind of good. So then you start thinking of things to say bad about it so that you could fit in. All right, let's go. And that's what I'm going to have to do with 10 High. I got to think of a bunch of bad things to say about it so the people don't kick me out their groups and out their clubs and don't let me do hangouts with them anymore. You say nobody's that crazy. Oh, really? You must not know about the bourbon drinking world. And don't even bring up the wine, people, or the beer ones. All right, taste. Sour mash, yeah, it does taste like a Linder's bagel a little bit. I'm not kidding about that. I need to get bagels again. I love bagels with cream cheese, to tell you the truth. But bagels used to be cheap, yeah. But now they're expensive. It's like, this is just a bagel. Think about those big packages. It's like, why would I pay this much money for this little dough, these round dough, just round dough with a slice through the middle. And what do I know for bagels? And even if I did, it wouldn't even matter because the other thing, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not paying all this money, but I do love them, There's almost like there's a burn. A little bit, not really much of one. There's oak, charred oak. I don't know about the charred oak, but I know it has to be aged in new charred oak to be bourbon. I know that, but it doesn't even say it's from Kentucky. It just say bottled in Kentucky. Give me an M. Give me a P. I mean, give me a G, give me a P. Sorry about that. Give me an M, give me a G, give me a P. What does it spell? MGP. No, but I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. You know, it's probably from them. But I don't know that. But it's bottled in Kentucky, though. Now I know people are gonna run off and say, "You heard what he said? He said 10 High was made by MGP." I didn't say it was made by MGP. I was doing a cheerleading chant, and I was saying, "Give me an MG, give me a G, and give me a P." And what does it spell? I was insinuating. I didn't say anything explicitly. I was watching Columbo, and the doctor said, the psychologist said, "You've been making all these insinuating statements." And Columbo said, "Who, me? What are you talking about? Just because you got on a plane and when you came back off the plane, your baggage was 9 pounds lighter, but these things happen. You just better hope that all that stuff that you claim the guy stole from your house don't add up to 9 pounds." But he was setting the guy up so bad. But anyway, I mean, obviously he knew he did it as soon as he was at his house. And the guy knew he did it. He was just trying to play it off, but it wasn't working. But anyway, I'm not trying to play this off. I'm just saying that it says bottled in Kentucky. It does not say it's made in Kentucky. So if it was made in Kentucky, it seems like they would say it, right? Right? But it could be just auction bourbon that they got from Missouri. It could be from Western Missouri at Holiday Distilling. It could be from Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and it could be some from Kentucky. Could be some from Auburndale, Florida, at that old Seagram's distillery that they call Florida Caribbean Distillers now. I mean, and they just bid on it. You say it's probably all bland as anything. I know it's probably bland. Why do you think they add natural flavor? Because it's flavorful. I mean, it just blended all together. It's 80 proof, age at least 4 years. It's dull as dishwater. That old expression. And they add a little flavoring, which to me tastes like vanilla, and then they sell it, and people buy it, and they make videos like this about it. Okay. Honestly, though, the 1783 is not exactly blowing it out the water. And that's what's supposed to happen. I mean, you could tell it's a 1783 because why? I might have said 93. 1783. It's got the charred oak. It's got a more oaky presence. It's got a little more body, like more body, more weight, more high, specific. It's got more high gravity. It's got more gravity. It's got more weight. It's got more alcohol. My father used to work at DuPont, and I said, these high alcohol beers they call high gravity. He said, "Well, of course they call it high gravity because," and then he went on and on about high gravity and specific gravity, and I was like, "Oh man, I shouldn't have mentioned that." He was telling me all about. We used to have to know about that all the time in the lab, and let me tell you about. And I was like, "Ooh, me and my mouth." All right. I was just saying, strong beers have high gravity. I like the 1783. No, that's a lie. It's not a lie. It's a misstatement. A lie is when you're saying something wrong and you know it's wrong. I just said it wrong. I love it. Actually, I love it. That's what I meant to say. I love it. It's great. I love it. I think for $18.99, it is a great value. But I got it for $9 plus tax, and I'm not even kidding about that. $9, the greatest deal in the world. Is that the greatest deal I ever got on liquor? Well, it's close. Although I did get the Southern Comfort Fiery Pepper, Southern Comfort aged in Tabasco barrels with the Tabasco hot pepper. for $1.99. I'm talking about a full bottle, not a little sample bottle. I guess that's the greatest deal in the world. And I did get a full size amount, 750 milliliters. And I'm not talking about some sample bottle now or a half size of 100 pipers, which overseas they call Seagram's 100 pipers. They call it Seagram's 100 pipers across the world. But in America, it's called 100 pipers because Heaven Hill bottles it here, so they don't put Seagram's on it. Okay, but anyway, I got a full bottle for $3.98. 750 milliliters for $3.98. And that is not something I'm making up. And that is the truth. And I'll never see that happen again in this lifetime or my next. Well, maybe in heaven you can get whiskey for free. But you would have the right attitude in heaven. You know, you wouldn't be saying, oh, I'm going to save it. You know, so we have a venal attitude here, you know, like, oh, I don't want anybody to know I've got it because they're going to want to share it with me. All right, anyway. But that's concupiscence and original sin and that whole bad inclination, you know. Okay, final analysis. Then I'm going to read the comments. I think 10 High is all right. I mean, I like it. I wouldn't actually literally ever buy it again because they got about 1,000 other bourbons I'd like to try, and they got about 1,000 bourbons that I own. Not 1,000, but it's starting to seem like that. It's getting really out of hand. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If you come to this house and see all the bourbon, you're gonna either admire me or fear for my health. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying you're gonna be like, oh wow, but your oh wow is gonna be like, oh wow, that's amazing, or oh wow, you need an intervention or something. Like, what is happening here? And my answer would be, I keep finding deals. I mean, that's literally the truth. When I'm finding $38 bottles of bourbon for $10, I guess I'm gonna buy it. But the 10 High is all right. I mean, it's all right. I'm not gonna ever buy it again for the rest of my life. I'm serious. I'm not gonna buy it because I don't want it, but I like it. But I do like it. Would I recommend it? I would recommend it if you have the right mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like you're thinking about it the correct way. Some people cannot think about bourbon correctly. Everything with them, it has to, well, oh, it's not Old Fitzgerald 10-year. I know it's $16.99. It's bourbon with natural flavors. What do you think it's going to be? It's like you bought Weiler's and you thought it was Kool-Aid, but then you bought Kool-Aid. What you thought that was? Real strawberries that they handpicked? So, you know, there has to be a certain framework that you're working in. You know, you have to be able to look at things sensibly, emotionally detached, and you want to think about these things in an abstract manner. Like some people can only think in a linear manner, like they can literally only look this way. Like, well, I paid $80 for that other stuff. I'm like, what's the proof on that? Oh, 137 proof. It's barrel proof. What was the age? 12 years. Oh, and it came from one barrel. And they sold 12. Okay. But you're comparing it to this. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's look at okay. So this is the 10 High. Got it. What gave it away? Oh, I don't know, the vanilla flavoring. I don't know if it's vanilla flavoring, but I put money on it. If you made me bet, I don't ever gamble, but if you made me bet, I would put money on vanilla flavoring. That would be my, you know, it's natural vanilla extract. I mean, Sazerac, they got money. You said it was Barton. It is Barton, but they're owned by Sazerac. So, but they can buy vanilla extract, but they're not going to pay what you're paying per milliliter because they're a huge company and they're going to buy huge amounts. They're not buying a little thing that you get at the grocery store. You know, it's like 50 milliliters or what do they say, 2 ounces, whatever that is, whatever the conversion is. You know, it's tiny. It's tiny. No, They're buying huge commodity industrial amounts and they're getting it way cheaper, but they can afford it. I know natural vanilla would probably be cheaper. I'm sorry. I know natural vanilla flavoring would probably be more expensive than artificial, but it's not artificial flavoring. It says on the bottle, natural flavoring. Now I had a guy tell me, "Oh, it's not really natural," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "It's really fake. It's artificial." I said, "Well, then that would be called artificial flavoring." And then he was saying, "Oh no, there's more to it." I said, what is it? What's more to it? He never would tell me, or he never did tell me. I was like, "Yeah, same old thing. You got this information, but you're not coming up with it." All right, let's go to the comments. Evan Williams isn't okay. That Evan Williams hits hard, ain't it? Had it a few years though. No, this one doesn't really hit hard. You might be thinking of the 100 proof, the bottle and bond. No, that one. Oh yeah, that you got to watch them. What are you bringing for wild card? Wild card Wednesday tomorrow night at 7:20 Eastern. Hector. Oh, yeah, maybe Schlitz, the new Schlitz. That would be a good thing to bring because that's like a topical thing right now. Laughing out loud says, "Workman never had 10 high. How is it? It's good, in a certain context." Jay Grizzle says, "Peace, peace to you, peace to you." Alex the Beer Master from New Jersey, the legendary Alex the Beer Master says, "What is up there, legendary Ron? Hope you're doing well, my friend, and appreciate you. Haven't seen you in a while." Hello, Alex. Cheers to you. Jay Grizzle says, "Can't beat that price." I know. He says, "Cheers." Wesley says, "Cheers. I'm having a bit of black velvet." Oh, I've got a bottle in the fridge. Not in the fridge, the cabinet. Oh, I did do too, but no, in the cabinet. Craig Swinson deleted a retracted a message. I've done that, but usually it's too late. If people already read it, then I'm in trouble. Got a friend with a huge stash too. He has a get together. Always says, "Please drink." Laughing out loud. Well, I don't do that because I'm doing a lot of taste challenges. So I really am going to bring all of them into tournaments, into this tournament format. Now, it might take 30 years. That's the problem. All right. So thank you. The winner is clearly the 1783. There's no getting around it. Is it really worth twice the amount of money, though? An extra $9 or $10? Extra $9 or $10 per bottle. Man, I don't know about the $9. I'm gonna be honest. It's better, but it's not. It's more like $2 better, maybe $3. But $9 per bottle better. I'm not really seeing that, but maybe I'm crazy, but I don't think I'm crazy. I just tasting it, and they're different, but I think they're a lot more similar than different. I'm serious. A lot. Now the 10 high is a little thinner body, no, but no, I don't think I would pay the extra $9 to $10. Honestly, I just bought a 10 high, but I bought both. So all right. Anyway, thank you for watching and have a nice afternoon.